Hi, good evening. How are you? Um, I am really excited about the book I'm going to be reading tonight. I've been doing some reading at the back of the book, and I even looked up the website. There's a website called One Plastic. I think it's One Plastic Bag. Let me look. Um, uh, oneplasticbag.com. Um, is a website that tells more about this also. Um, Sorry, I need to close some things that were open on my computer. Okay, that's better. Um, so this is a true story that, well, it's based on true things that happened. The um, lady who wrote the story, um, her name is Miranda Paul. Let's see, she's the white lady in this picture is Miranda Paul, and she had gone to Gambia in two. When did she say she first went? Um, okay, her story is here at the end. Okay. She first traveled to Gambia in West Africa in 2003. So here is a picture of Africa. And this story is based on something that happened in this little country of Gambia right here at this. This would be the western coast of Africa. And it took place in, I think I'm going to take that cover off, took place in one of the villages. So um, the story is called One Plastic Bag, Isatu Sese and the Recycling Women of the Gambia. And it's written by Miranda Paul and illustrated by Elizabeth Zunon. Now, there are some words and phrases in here that come from the Gambian language. And there's a pronunciation in the back, and I will try to pronounce them correctly. If I mispronounce them, I'm sorry. And if I stumble over them, it's because it's not English. So this is Najal Gambia. Isatu walks with her chin frozen. Fat raindrops pelt her bare arms. Her face hides in the shadow of the palm leaf basket, and her neck stings with every step. Warm scents of burning wood and bubbling peanut stew drift past. Her village is close now. She lifts her nose to catch the smell. So many women in different parts of Africa carry things in baskets on their head, and that's what she's doing. The basket tips. One fruit tumbles, then two, then 10. The basket breaks. Isatu kicks the dirt. She's trying to get her fruit home, and now she has nothing to carry it in. Something silky dances past her eyes, softening her anger. It moves like a flag flapping in the wind and settles under a tamarind tree. Isatu slides the strange fabric through her fingers and discovers it can carry things inside. She gathers her fruits in the bag. The basket is useless now. She drops it, knowing it will crumble and mix back in with the dirt. So the basket was made out of leaves or and plants. So when it's not used, it decomposes and becomes part of the dirt again. Four goats greet Isatu at Grandmother Mbombe emerges from her kitchen hut. Hurry in before the rain soaks your beautiful mbuba. That's her long dress. Isatu scurries in, and Grandmother serves spicy rice and fish. Raindrops, rain drums on the creaking aluminum roof. I broke your basket, Isatu confesses, but I found this. Plastic, Grandma frowns. There's more in the city. Hmm. I wonder why she would be so unhappy about the plastic. Day after day, Isatu watches neighbors tote their things in bright blue and black plastic bags. Children slurp water and the wanjo from the tiny holes poked in clear bags. Market trays filled with minties wrapped in rainbows of plastic. The colors are beautiful, she thinks. She swings her bag high. The handle breaks. One paper escapes. Then two. Then 10. So this is a kind of juice. And these are just hard candies, but they're all wrapped in plastics. Isatu shakes sand off her papers. Another plastic bag floats by, and she tucks her things inside. The torn bag is useless now. She drops it to the dirt, as everyone does. There's nowhere else to put it. Everyone just drops their trash. Day after day, the bag she dropped is still there. One plastic bag becomes 2, then 10, then 100. Plastic isn't beautiful anymore, she thinks. Her feet step down a cleaner path, and the thought floats away. Remember when she dropped the basket back in the beginning? It turns back into the ground, it decomposes. But the plastic doesn't decompose. Years passed, and Isatu grows into a woman. She barely notices the ugliness growing around her until the ugliness finds its way to her. Isatu hears a goat crying and hurries towards grandmother's home. Why is it tied? Where are the other goats? Remember, she had 4 goats. Inside, the butcher is speaking in a low voice. Many goats have been eating these, he says. Look what he's holding in his hand. The bags twist around their insides, and the animals cannot survive. Now 3 of your goats and so many other goats in the village have died. Grandmother Mubumba powerful shoulders sag. Isatu must be strong and do something. But what? Isatu's feet lead her to the old, ugly road. A pile of garbage stands as wide as grandmother's cooking hut. Mosquitoes swarm near dirty pools of water alongside the pile. Smoke from burning plastic stings her nose. Her feet back away. Goats scamper past. They forage through the trash for food. Her feet stop. She knows too much to ignore it now. Holding her breath, she plucks 1 plastic bag from the pile, then 2, then 10, then 100. What can we do? Isatu asks her friends. Let's wash them, says Fatim, pulling out Omo soap. Ram grabs a bucket and Incha fetches water from the well. Peggy finds clothespins and they clip the washed bags on the line. As the bags dry, Isato watches her sister crochet. Can you teach me? Wow! Yes! Her sister shows Isato the stitches, then hands her a metal tool. Isato's fingers busy themselves. In, out, around. Jerajef! Thank you. I wonder what her idea is. Isato finds a broomstick and carves her own tool from the wood. What's that for? Fatim asks. Isato pauses. She and Peggy have an idea, but will their friends think it's crazy? Will the idea even work? Nervously, she explains the plan. What does it look like they're doing? They're cutting the bags and they're wrapping them. And one friend agrees to help, then two, then five. The women cut bags into strips and roll them into spools of plastic thread. Before long, they teach themselves how to crochet with this thread. So they're crocheting. So all these women in their beautiful dresses. Naka ligebi, says grandmother. How is the work? Nang Danka, answers Isato, slow. Some people in the village laugh at us. Others call us dirty. But I believe what we are doing is good. The women crochet by candlelight, away from those who mock them. So they're doing something, trying to help everyone. But others are making fun of them. Many times when we try something new, people won't understand. Until a morning comes when they will no longer work in secret. Look at the lovely bag they've made. Fingers sore and blistered, Isato hauls the recycled purses to the city. One person laughs at her, then two, then 10. Then, after all that work, people are laughing. One woman lays her Dalasi coins on the table. She chooses a purse and shows it to one friend, then two, then 10. Soon, everyone wants one. So they have all different shapes and sizes of bags that they've made. Isato fills her own purse with Dalasi. She zips it shut and rides home to tell grandmother that she has made enough to buy a new goat. When she pauses by the pile of rubbish, she smiles because it is smaller now. She tells herself one day it will be gone and my home will be beautiful. And one day it was. So I want to read the author's note here at the back. It says, I first traveled to Gambia, West Africa in 2003 as a volunteer teacher. I had an amazing experience, but something threatened to ruin my memory of it all. the heaps of garbage piled everywhere. The problem seemed too big to fix. Then a friend told me that in a rural village, a woman named Isato Sese was doing something about it. My friend showed me a beautiful purse made from recycled plastic bags, and I vowed to meet Isato. During my third stay in the Gambia in 2007, I finally connected with Isato and visited her home in Najau. There, I interviewed many women and girls, including the original Gambian women who had begun the recycling project with Isato a decade earlier. They shared past stories of dead livestock, strangled gardens, and a malaria outbreaks linked to the trash. But they also shared news stories of healthier families, better income, and increased self confidence. Although I wasn't able to include all the details about the women and their project in this book, I believe the story I've shaped captures their spirit and inspirational accomplishments. Today, Njao is much cleaner, the goats are healthier, and the gardens grow better. Residents from nearby towns travel there to learn the craft of recycling. People from around the world continue to purchase the recycled plastic purses, and the women contribute some of their earnings toward an empowerment center where community members enjoy free health and literacy classes, as well as learn about the dangers of burning plastic trash. In 2012, that center also became the home of the region's first public library. By the time you read this book, I hope that a copy of One Plastic Bag is shelved there and that it will be checked out once, then twice, then 100 times. So the next part talk shows the pronunciation of some of the words. And then there's a timeline about what happened. So in 1970, plastic bags became a serious problem in Gambia cities. 1972, Isatou Sese was born in Najal, Gambia. So Isatou is probably the age of some of your parents, or maybe just a little older than some of your parents. The 1980s and 90s, plastic bags became a serious problem, and goats began to die, gardens struggled to grow, and villagers burned their plastic trash to get rid of it, which put a lot of pollution in the air. In 1998, Isatou and Peace Corps volunteer Peggy, the lady in the story, there was a Peggy, she was a Peace Corps volunteer, along with four other Gambian women, began the Najau Recycling and Income Generating Group, NRIGG. They worked mostly in secret for over a year until people become aware of the income and impact they're having. So Isatou was named to the U.S. Peace Corps in Gambia, and she traveled around the world. In 2007, there were 70 women working with her. And 2008, they got sewing machines, and so they began to learn sewing and tailoring. 2011, they added solar panels, and the first public library was open. And in 2012, Isatou wins a World of Difference 100 award from the International Alliance of Women. So their group has done a lot, and there is a website you can look up. It's called oneplasticbag.com. And you can find out more about the project. So there's a lot that even one person or two people can do to help take care of God's world. We're very fortunate that we have um, a beautiful place to live. And so we want to be careful in taking care of it. Next week, I'm going to probably just be putting up, I won't be doing a live read aloud on Monday. I might try to do it on Tuesday, or I'll put something in the folders before the weekend. I'm going to be gone over the weekend and be traveling home on Monday night, so I won't have access to a computer um, that I can be reading aloud. So I hope you have a good week. Wednesday, there's no school. Friday is a half day, and I hope you and your parents can come and enjoy the bunkasai and the activities that the high schoolers will be doing. And then Monday, we don't have school, Monday the 6th. So it's going to be a very different week for the next week, but we'll be seeing you tomorrow morning, regular time. But remember that the trains are running on a different schedule this week. So make sure you get to school on time. Have a good evening. Good night.